Well, there can be many reasons for a missing limb. That's where prosthetics come in to compensate.
Prosthetic technology goes all the way back to the Egyptians. According to amputeecoalition.org, this Egyptian prosthetic toe, which could go back as far as 1000 BC, is believed to be the first designed for function.
AmputeeCoalition.org says about the only thing that came from the Dark Ages was the peg leg and hook, as portrayed by Dustin Hoffman's Captain Hook in the 1991 movie Hook. Prostheses during the Renaissance were generally made of iron, steel, copper, and wood, and now even more breakthroughs.
There is a young girl who has turned her science project into a life-changing hobby, but it's not her life that she's changing. She is changing the lives of other children, one hand at a time.
From playing with her dog to her budding interest in lacrosse, Sierra Petrocelli is your average 11-year-old. She's a 5th grader, and she's a quiet kid. But not surprisingly to the people who know her well, Sierra has found an extraordinary hobby.
Of course, I'm a very proud mom.
Sierra develops prosthetic hands made from a 3D printer. The idea started when she wanted to use a 3D printer for her 5th grade science project.
I never thought that I was going to actually build a hand. I thought I was just going to show pictures.
The printer lays down thin layers of plastic into a design made on a computer. Sierra connected with a company called Enable. The company makes the computer models of these hands for children, and they sent Sierra a tutorial.
To work it, you bend your wrist, and it pulls these strings back, and they go all the way through the fingers.
Sierra's teacher was amazed when she heard about Sierra's ambitions for the project.
I asked her to think about how 3D printing can change the world, improve something, change someone's life.
More important than the A she received on her project is the way in which Sierra has decided to use her talent. She's making a new hand for an 8-year-old.
It's really cool. I saw that it was gonna end after my science fair project. This hand is for the girl, and it has no thumb because she has a thumb, and so I think it will work better because...
The hand that Sierra will create costs just $50. Compare that to a prosthetic bought from a hospital, and thousands of dollars are saved.
I think my favorite part is that I'm helping someone and how it's like they're like they can do more now and not just have to use one of their hands to do everything.
Sierra and her family hope to meet the little girl receiving Sierra's hand later this year. So what does she think of changing someone's life by giving them a hand?
Yeah, it's really cool. I never thought that a 3D printer could change someone's life.
The self-described shy kid who took her school assignment and turned it into a gift for others.
That was the coolest project I've ever done.
That little girl from Virginia says she's going to continue making hands. Enable now sells hand-making kits.
What a breakthrough in prosthetics. We've certainly come a long way since the Egyptians, and a new study could be a breakthrough in the treatment of autism. Researchers have linked a brain enzyme to behaviors associated with Fragile X syndrome. Fragile X syndrome is a genetic condition that causes a range of developmental problems, including learning disabilities and cognitive impairment. Although Fragile X is a genetic condition and autism is a behavior diagnosis, many studies have linked the two.
Danny, sit down.
It's been a few years since Jessica Narren's 8-year-old son, Royce, was diagnosed with autism.
He was exhibiting a lot of behaviors. So he was exhibiting aggressive and self-injurious behaviors. He was hitting his head against objects, throwing himself on the ground.
Doctors first had to rule out Fragile X syndrome, which they did before diagnosing Royce with autism. But some children have both.
The Fragile X is one of the neurodevelopmental disorders. It's a genetic disease, and it's associated with autism.
After years of work, Dr. Iryna Ethell made a discovery that could help children with Fragile X who also have autism. Her team tested mice and found out if they got rid of the gene that activates the enzyme MMP9, that gets rid of autistic behavior in those with Fragile X.
And we measure behaviors such as social interaction behaviors and anxiety. All of those features were corrected in these mice.
The next step would be to find drugs that target MMP9, but that could be years away.
Any research that shows anything that could help a family like mine is really helpful.
And researchers aren't sure how this new information will affect other forms of autism. And while doctors continue their autism research, there are groups out there aiming to make the lives of people with autism a little more normal.
Yeah, groups like Surfers Healing, whose goal is to gain more mainstream acceptance for children with the disorder by taking them surfing. Our resident surfer, Sean Stryker, joins us from Ocean City with more. So Sean, you're a surfer. Did you ever think that surfing could be used like this?
No, Jimmy and Lisa, I never actually thought about it, but once I heard more about Surfers Healing, it makes perfect sense to me. There's something about being out on the water on a surfboard that's almost therapeutic, and here to tell us a little bit more about Surfers Healing is Dale Loeser. Thanks so much for joining me.
Of course.
Can you tell me about this organization?
Sure. It was started around 2000 by Israel and Danielle Paskowitz. Their son Isaiah at age 3 was diagnosed with autism. And he just found that by taking him out surfing, it was very therapeutic and calming for him. And we've been doing our Ocean City event here. This is our 5th year.
Mm-hmm. So it's been going on here for 5 years, but it's all over the country.
They do. They have camps set up at different parts of the country. Yep.
So how does it work? They're out there with somebody.
They are. We have surfers that volunteer and come in from Hawaii and California. These are really experienced watermen. And they actually take them out and tandem surf with the child.
So you've been doing this for about 5 years now. I mean, talk to me about the joy that you see on these kids' faces.
Well, I tell you, it's really great. A lot of times these kids, when they're first getting in the water, don't really want to get in. They're very fearful. But after they've gotten in the water, and after they've ridden a couple waves, they come back transformed. Super magical for the child and the family as well.
You said yourself too, you enjoy seeing that.
Oh, absolutely. It's just, it's a wonderful thing to be a part of. I'm very blessed to be a part of it.
Very cool. Now these kids aren't surfing on a shortboard or even a typical surfboard. They're on stand-up paddle boards. How does that help them?
Well, the stand-up paddle boards have a lot of volume to it, and when you have 2 people on a board and you're tandem surfing with someone, you definitely need volume, and that's where they work out.
Very cool. Now you were telling me you have over 250 kids signed up for camp this year.
Well, it's over 200, but yeah, the camp is full.
Yep. It's full, but you still want people to come out, cheer the kids on. When can they do that? When is this year's event happening?
We're August 13th at 9 a.m. at 37th Street, where the Castle in the Sand is. And yeah, we definitely want people to come out. That's one way that they can show support. They can cheer the families on, buy a t-shirt. It's just a really great day. We want it to be the perfect day for these families.
Very cool. A day at the beach with a great cause. If you want more information on Surfers Healing, you can visit our website, wboc.com, and click on our picture at the top of the page. Jimmy and Lisa, back to you guys.
Oh, it is such a wonderful program. I've been out there.
Yeah.
I've watched it. It's just amazing to see these children light up when they get to
change.
surf. Yes, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Well, from the young to the young at heart, getting older doesn't mean sitting at home alone. How a local senior center is offering the support, services, and fun seniors need all under one roof.
And a little bit later on, under our roof, we are making a Peruvian dish that's packed with flavor. The Marvel Life will be right back.